What if I told you that, or better yet, if I asked you if it was possible for a woman to give birth to children, say twins, to give birth to children, and then for whatever reason, whatever circumstance, she needed to take a DNA test and prove that those were children, and then the DNA test came back stating that they were not her children. Do you think that's possible? Would that be possible?
No. Hell no. I mean, if she gave birth to them?
Yes, she gave birth.
And unless the kids are not being changed? No.
They came out of her body.
No, there's no way.
But the DNA test
doesn't lie, I think. This is what I believe. I think DNA doesn't lie.
You're fucking right. DNA does not lie. However, that happened. And it's possible for someone to give birth to children and yet have a different DNA as her. Completely different, where that does not match. And the DNA test proves that she's not the mother.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, welcome back to Playing with Fire. I'm Homer, and
I'm Sadie.
Today we're going to talk about something kind of interesting that deals with DNA, but more specifically about the nature of serial killers and DNA.
Oh, I didn't expect that. I thought we were going to talk about DNA. Okay.
Yeah, like, are they driven by DNA? Like, are they, like, born in a certain way that they just can't help themselves to be serial killers and they have no choice and they end up serial killers?
Oh, okay.
Or is that bullshit and they, people just choose to be bad and not justifying that what they do isn't bad, because it is. But, like, do they have more control than what we choose to believe, or are they more kind of directed biologically than we choose to understand? That's kind of the question. What do you think?
Honestly, that's I mean, I would prefer to do some research about that, but now you're all of a sudden asking some
crazy questions.
Weird crazy questions, so I need to just talk about what I believe as a person.
Yeah.
So I don't think, this is again my understanding, that people decide I'm gonna be like doing that, I'm gonna kill somebody, or planning I feel like specifically serial killers, they don't have understanding of what they call being a human.
Wait.
Feeling empathy, feelings,
okay, so they don't have empathy is what you're saying. Yeah. They don't have it.
So there is something wrong with them psychologically. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe like some people with more knowledge can just say it how it works in their brain.
We have a friend that might be able to help us with that.
Who? Oh yeah, actually yes. We have a friend, we can ask her. But then
we're gonna talk to you.
Yeah. So what I think,
we're also supposed to barbecue at her house and we haven't yet.
Yeah, if you wanna, it's like we can come over, make kebab.
We're supposed to. That's
forget about kebab. Let's talk about serial killers.
Okay.
So actually, it's an interesting point. So I think, for me personally, what I experience as a human might be different than what you experience as a human.
Yes.
We talk about something in other episode. You told me you don't believe in soul, which sound like bullshit to me.
Yeah.
So, but that's your understanding and your experience as a human. And
true.
I have other experience. I want to believe, and I do believe that there is a spirit or soul or whatever. There's something when we die, get out of our body. That's something. So I want to believe I believe there's something.
No. You said you want to believe. There's a key. We'll get into that later.
I kind of feel like I believe that.
You want to believe.
I hate
there's a reason for that.
There's this body, is it? Like, I want to get out of this body one day. And that's my...
That's hopeful. That's wishful thinking. Nothing wrong with that. It's part of our human nature.
So that's two different experience and two different people talking. Yeah?
Yes.
So what if there's a third opinion? So me and you, maybe we consider like we shouldn't hurt people. We shouldn't hurt animals. We talked actually about this in another episode. Like, how could you hurt somebody?
Yeah, fucking teachers.
That's our understanding,
in other countries.
So feeling like it's painful if you it feels like we have some morons, like we don't want to hurt people or even hurt anything.
Yeah.
So but what if there is somebody who does not feel that?
Yeah.
There are some, I don't want to say, I don't want to make it some people offended, but there are actually some people, they don't understand human emotion. That's like, they're not serial killer. I'm talking about some, I don't know what they call it. There is a certain like condition that those people, you know, they don't understand like emotion. So if you say my father, like they're your best friend, I hope that I knew what it called. They don't understand regular normal emotion. When you, for example, if I'm one of those, you come to me and say, my best friend just died and passed away, and you start crying, and I don't understand it. I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't understand that emotion. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of certain country.
Oh, I think I've heard of that. I don't know if, there's probably like a condition or a
So they're not serial killer, don't get me wrong, but right. I mean, say, what if there are people
but they don't know how to experience
that
empathy.
They don't feel like killing people is like is a problem.
Well, it could be a combination of things, and one of those key things appears to be the lack of empathy. That basically you don't feel for the other person, and you don't feel bad for them, knowing that they're gonna hurt, go through pain, and obviously that you're gonna take their life. And then beyond that, you're hurting their family members and friends and all the other people who are affected by those actions. But interestingly, I think that interesting point that you made, that they don't have that feeling, that they don't feel, where does that come from? Is that part of our DNA? Is that a characteristic, a component that makes up our DNA that gives us the ability to feel, to have empathy for someone else, or is it not? And if it's not part of our DNA, then who chooses? How is a person born with it or without it? So
something that can actually prove that you can born like that way.
Yes.
Is, if you remember, there was a case that two small kids, like they were 9 and 10 or something. They actually, when they decided to kill somebody, was in the United States. I'm talking, it's
They're serial
like
killers?
20 years ago. No, it wasn't serial killer, but two kids decided they want to kill a kid. So they actually kidnapped like a 2-year-old baby from a train station.
Sad.
Haven't you heard this story?
No.
Actually, it's in the United States. And they kidnapped this kid, like 2-year-old kids from mom. They were in train station, and they walked this kid on the rail, and they took him so far. And I don't want to say how horrible they killed this kid. They actually killed the kid. They put rocks and like a small, like stones, like a what they call dust in his mouth, and then they like put him on the rail so the train passed by its body. These two kids got arrested. They were in psychological, centers or whatever, and they went to prison for 20 years. And recently, like a few months ago, they got released.
Wow.
And they changed their names, but they were kids. They were 7 and I don't know, both around the age of 10. And imagine what happens to a kid to decide to do that.
Is there anything that they've published about that?
No, they even changed their names, and they didn't want to talk to anybody. But they...
Oh, you want to change your name now? You want to forget what you did?
It's crazy. I mean, but also thinking about it, it's horrible. But then thinking about it, they were kids. What they were thinking at that point.
I mean, so many things, so many possibilities. There could have been an innocent... You can look
it up if you want, just the name, because that's like recently they got released.
There could have been an innocence factor to them, that they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't really realize the gravity of the situation of what they were doing. Maybe, I don't know. There could have been a layer of they did have an idea and they thought they were going to get away with it. I don't know. But
I don't know what the fact that you did too. I don't remember the name.
They changed their names.
Yeah, just say right, 2 boys who killed a baby. Like I don't know.
Wow. Okay, yeah, two boys sounds like a movie.
Yeah, that's the killed 2 years old
or
boy.
more like a title of a episode of a TV show.
Yeah,
2 boys who killed a baby. That's sad.
I'm sure now you will find a lot of things, but then that one was like 2. They got released,
comes up. It says on February 12th, 1993, a Merseyside 2 10-year-old boys, Robert Thompson, born August 23 of 82, and John Venables. Why do they have different last names to their brothers? Born August 13 of 82, abducted and tortured and then murdered a 2-year-old boy, James Patrick Bulger, 16, March 1990, February 93. Wow, that's sad. So maybe things like this. Yeah, like what does drive humans to do that? What goes through their mind? Like, what is their thought process? Like, I can't even try to say that I understand, but I feel like there's like a process where they contemplate, they plan, or they think about creating a plan and then carrying it out. But there has to be like a moment where they make the decision of when it becomes real, when it's like, okay, let's do it. Let's actually put the plan into action. When that happens, like, how do they continue to carry that plan forward? Like, how do they continue without thinking to themselves, okay, just kidding, like, this is too real, like, we're not actually going to do that, because what we're about to do is real, and it's not a joke. It's not.
Why do you think they can? I mean, we can't put all those people, like all the serial killers, in the same category and say all of them think this way. So everyone has their own, like, process of thought, what they feel and what they think. But I remember recently I saw this, I think he was a serial killer, or at least a killer, in Miami. And he was sentenced to, I think, if I'm not wrong, 10 years prison. And then, wait, do they execute people? It was execution.
In some states in
yeah.
I'm
not
the US,
sure where it was, but it was execution. But then after the prison. So this guy was asked, I'm not sure which state, I need to look it up. But the guy, it was a video, he was asking the judge, he was like, I believe in reincarnation, and I believe that when I die, I will born again. Mm-hmm. So I'm requesting that I don't want to go to prison. I prefer to die now. If you can do the execution now, so I can die and then do the process faster to come back again.
Yeah.
So, and the judge said, I don't give a shit what he wants.
Yeah.
But that was interesting because for him, being in prison, he cannot continue what he wants to do. And he thought, for him, when he was killing people, he thought it's a game. You know, honestly, I don't want to say I kind of like, not 100%, but I believe somehow in reincarnation, or at least having multiple lives. I don't know how to put it together, but not in a religious way. But then I feel in this way, I feel, if I have more opportunities, it's to grow and learn.
Yeah, become better, to improve.
But for this person, it's like a game. Oh my God, I'm going to die and come back, and yes, I'm doing it again. So I don't want to waste time in prison a few years. Kill me now, I can come back.
Well, that might have something to do with the, part of their characteristics, that the delusion of reality. I think that when a person has a delusion, which is a altered kind of state of reality, then they're not really living life like the rest of us. They're not really living life. Life isn't real to them, and that's the delusion. That's the psychosis of that's part of what's wrong with them. Basically, that's literally what's wrong with them. If they think that they can do that and then go and die and come back and it's just a game, clearly, one word, they're fucking. More than one word. They're fucking crazy.
So, have you seen the movie Bliss?
Bliss sounds very familiar. So probably not, but it sounds familiar.
Yeah, Sammy, is the movie called Bliss? The one that it's about again about the virtual, like our world is not real. It's
like simulation?
It's like people are living. Can you actually look it up? I just want to make sure that I'm talking.
Oops, I typed Bliss.
Where's Bliss? Or maybe Blast or Blast.
Bliss movie? Maybe type in movie after that.
Maybe Blee. Oh wait. I prefer this one. No, it's not Bliss actually. It's
I have seen that movie. That's a good movie. Fucking yeah, I love Salma Hayek.
Yes.
And Owen Wilson is cool. But I love Selma.
But not, it's not Blaze. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, Bliss.
Blaze. It is Blaze, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they pronounce it different. Maybe. Anyways,
I love this
so
movie.
in this movie,
I love Selma. Someday I'm gonna act with her.
I love it. She's
I'm gonna work with you.
amazing.
I'm gonna work with you.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So she, it is a simulation, and people are in like this matrix, suffering. And when she comes to him and say, "You didn't see the movie?"
I did. I'm trying to remember the end.
So there is a part that I'm gonna connect it to killing people. At the certain point, the guy is in trouble, and she was like, "I'm gonna help you," and she kept killing a few people. And he was like, "Why did you kill them?" And she said, "It doesn't matter. They're not real." And she said that, and that was scary for me at that moment. While it's a simulation,
yeah.
she in that movie, it is a simulation. So the bodies are not real. If you kill them, they're gonna wake up other side. But then I was like, what if some people are gonna watch this movie and say, "Oh, we're living in simulation, so whatever we do doesn't matter because even if I kill somebody, he is gonna wake up somewhere else."
Look, people are people, and they're gonna be influenced by anything and everything if they let themselves be influenced. And The Matrix, other movies that are similar or have there's another story, which true story about a man, I don't remember his age, here in America, who got so into the Matrix that he believed he was in the Matrix, and one day he woke up, he got on the phone line, not like a cell phone, but like a landline. He got on the phone like the movie and spoke to the operator, which was probably nobody, but he got on the phone and he recited the words. Part of the movie said something like, at the end of the movie, Neo says something like, I basically he's woken up and he says, "I know you're out there," and I know he's like aware. He's telling the Matrix that he's now aware, and I fucking don't know exactly what the words are. The point is, he believed it so much that he spoke into what he thought was the Matrix, hung up the phone. He was all dressed in black. He had a shotgun. He was in his bedroom. He walked down to the basement of his home. He lived with his parents, and his dad was doing some work in the basement. His mom was doing some other like hobby work in the basement together. And I don't know if he said anything to them or not, I don't remember, but he walked into the basement of his parents' home and he shot his dad with a shotgun. And as the mom went crazy, like witnessing this, he turned over and shot her too, killed them both, thinking that it's just the Matrix and they're agents or they're not real. And he was on his own process to waking up and unplugging from the Matrix. His unplugging was he went to fucking prison, and years later he was interviewed and he was like, I don't know what I was thinking. He basically admitted to being stupid. He's a fucking idiot for allowing himself to believe such a concept coming from movies and entertainment.
Wait, is that real?
Yes, that happened.
Where? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's still in prison. I
thought you were talking about a movie, like it's a movie.
The Matrix.
No, I know The Matrix is a movie, but I thought this is another movie, like based. Anyways, wow.
Yeah.
So there are a bunch, millions of idiots out there.
Oh yeah.
So if they feel like humans, so this is actually part of this story. Like they might feel like humans, they are not real.
Yeah.
So.
But that's curious though, like, is it because they have this predetermined vulnerability in their DNA that they're more easily influenced, or maybe they're just in a whole other spectrum of...
Because, if we even agree and say, yeah, they have a condition in the brain, in their DNA, but then as a human, do we care? I mean, if somebody is dangerous for any, even medical reason, like a psychological reason, this person needs to be in a fucking jail. What happening? So you understand what I say?
Sure.
So if a person is a dangerous to other human being, this person is not capable to be in society. So it doesn't matter, honestly. So the question that you're asking, what is the reason?
Do we do?
Why do you want to know? So do you feel like if you find out, the serial killers have some condition in their brain or DNA? So what are we gonna do with this knowledge?
Yeah, what can we do?
Oh my God, it's okay. That's you just identify as a serial killer.
No.
So they're gonna be like, I identify as a serial killer. I was born like this.
Yeah, hey, yeah, I was born this way. Like, it's not my fault. No, not at all. It doesn't justify that at all. Perhaps it's more of an idea to better understand humanity and ourselves. And maybe we can, hey, there's CRISPR. Have you heard of CRISPR?
No.
CRISPR is a new technology, gene editing, which genes are in DNA. So it's kind of like a DNA editing. Maybe they can start looking into that and figure out how to edit DNA and take out the fucking serial killer.
Or put something over there. Apparently they're missing something.
Put it to sleep or take it out, change it a little so that their DNA changes and no more serial killers.
Yeah, but for now, I think even if we can't do that, for now, doesn't matter what they're doing. I mean, maybe with knowing that they can prevent, such thing like a killing. But then still, I feel like it is in their like DNA. It is in their like a how the brain works, because imagine we have like people who are going to war, for example, like in Iraq, many like American soldiers were there. In Afghanistan, there were like people working actually with some services like secret services. They're actually assassins, like they kill people, thousands, like they might kill hundreds of people as a job. This is their job.
Oh, and shit, that's true too.
Yeah,
and they're not serial killers,
but they're not.
They kind of are.
But the question, when they come back, imagine this person is retired. Okay, so the person is retired from the job. They're not gonna be, I'm craving to kill some more people. That was their job. Mainly they're that, because they're not craving like hurting people. That's like a part of their job, 100%. Unless a serial killer is smart enough to go to
do it
secret
legally.
Services. It was like, now you can
and
kill
get away with it.
Yeah,
I mean.
Yeah, but in this case, you see that people coming back, they have PTSD. They are after killing. They might like kill hundreds of people and then come back. Why they're traumatized. Why they have PTSD?
Oh, okay.
Because they don't. It's not humans' nature to kill.
Yeah, it wasn't in their nature to begin with, and it was something that they kind of forced themselves to do based on
if
duty.
It was a serial killer, you send them to any country and could just kill as many as you want. They would be enjoying it. They come back, they're not traumatized because they enjoy it.
Serial killers going to Disneyland. Like,
exactly.
It's like, sign me up. I want to go to that theme park.
But I don't think,
not me. Fuck that. I'm not saying that.
I don't think.
It's just an example.
I don't think they like killing people, like assassinating like people. They want to enjoy the planning.
Oh yeah, the hunt.
Hunting, bro.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing for them.
It's part of their
But then we will have, what was this lady that there was a movie actually, that woman, she was like a scariest, like a first American, like a female serial killer. Yeah, what is her name?
I don't know. Let's look her up.
Come on. She is famous. I mean, like, I don't remember her name, but it's like what is her name? Actually, they made a movie out of her life.
It sounds familiar, yeah.
And then, but she wasn't enjoying. That was interesting because her story, she was taking revenge of men.
I mean, could have been her excuse, but yeah.
She was in a part of her life. She was like drug addict. She was alcoholic. She was abused. She was all the words that we shouldn't say. We said it in this video. We're gonna get banned. She was a person. She was a whore. Whatever. All the words we use it today. Killing.
Really?
All the words today we said in this video
and
in this podcast.
Words.
It shouldn't be used. But anyways, we did it. Guys, support us. We're just saying it for you.
Oh, no, you're right. She was a whore. It says, by trade, she was an American serial killer in 1989 to 1990 year. While engaging in street prostitution along highways in Florida, she shot dead and robbed 7 of her male clients. So that was like her way to get in to meet men.
The first one in the movie, I don't know 100% if it's true, because movies, they just want to make it interesting. But one of the first one that she killed was a person that actually, he was after like having sex with this person in a car or something. He wanted to beat her up and not pay her, so she kind of was fed up,
Oh, that was like her trigger?
When people are like, yes, that was the first time she killed somebody.
I mean, she could have just killed that person and not continue.
And then most probably she saw
maybe she didn't have to kill that person either.
I can kill. So then she was like,
I see.
Interesting. So you see there are different stories, different, like some people become a serial killer, for sure.
Yeah, well, that's
Because-
true. That's fucking complicated. It's so interesting. I wonder.
So it's
All right.
10 minutes. We have 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, going back to the beginning, the lady who gave birth to twins. And the reason I brought that up is because it has to do with DNA. It just basically tells us how much more we need to learn about our own DNA that we don't yet understand as much advance as we've had, even with CRISPR. This lady was suing her ex-husband for child support, and they went to court. And in order for the court to reward or even have an opportunity for her to be rewarded with child support, she had to prove that those kids were hers.
Yeah.
No problem. Fucking DNA. I fucking birthed them, right? So they had a DNA test, and the children had a different DNA than she did. So initially, this turned into a fraud case because you're telling the judge that they're your kids, but they have different DNA than you. So now you're lying. So now it's like, are you a surrogate mother? Did you hire a surrogate mother to give birth to your kids and you're claiming them as your own? They're not your biological kids. Basically, they weren't her biological kids. Long story short, when this first was discovered, nobody could believe that it was possible. Nice catch. Nobody could believe that it was possible. It turns out that it is possible. That basically, like I said, long story short, that a person, you and I, knowingly, mostly unknowingly, we could have two sets of DNA in our body without even knowing it.
Oh. As
As in, we have two identifying DNA strands in our body instead of just one. Because after further investigation, what they discovered was that her kids, when did this happen? They were born in 1976. Lydia Fairchild. What a coincidence, Fairchild. Anyway, there's a condition that they named after that. So they had to go deeper, and what they discovered was that different organs in the body had different DNA.
wow, I didn't know that. That's the first time I'm hearing this, and this is from 1970 something.
Yeah, that's when it so the condition is called Chimerism. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that. Chimerism. The point is, you could have more than one DNA, and I'm not sure if I'm getting my stories overlapped and confused, but the twins. Oh, one of the ways that they discovered that this could happen is, you know how when a woman is pregnant and she has an embryo, a baby embryo, sometimes when they're twins, they're two embryos.
Yes.
Sometimes one embryo eats the other.
Yeah.
And it turns into one child. So depending on the development of the embryos, if it's two embryos, that's two DNAs because it's two people. But if one absorbs the other, depending how much it absorbs, sometimes people are born with two heads.
Yes.
Sometimes they're half two bodies. That's still two people. That's still two DNAs. Well, the same thing can happen if the embryo overlaps 100% on top of the other embryo, and one person is born within the second person, if that makes sense. So two people are born in one. That's two DNAs. But nothing is outside of the shape and form of a human. So you can't, like look at me, right? I could have been a second embryo that grew into myself, and instead of having two heads, I only have one, and I have one of everything. Not one of everything, because I have two lungs, and you get the point. The point is, within my organs, one organ could be the original or one of the embryo, and the other organ could be from the other embryo, allowing for two DNAs in one body.
So
That's fucking crazy.
This is crazy, but what does this have to do with the serial killers?
Fuck. What does it have to do?
I was like, that's an interesting point, but what is the connection, man?
That we have a lot to learn from DNA, and that DNA might be a driver. It doesn't justify the action, but it may be a driver.
So in this case, if that happened to you, you could say it's not me, it's my twins just actually acting.
My other twin. Maybe that's the split personality disorder, shit like that where it branches out of, I don't know.
Interesting.
But yeah, it makes shit interesting.
I like the fact that you always bring up this
Random shit.
crazy shit out, and then, I mean, it makes sense, and then it doesn't change anything in my life.
So,
I mean, I like it. It was like, okay, that's interesting to know. I didn't know that, but now what am I gonna do with this fucking
it
information?
entertained you for a good 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
What do you guys think? Is that crazy? Is that possible? Do you still think it's impossible? Does it make sense?
What do you think about serial killers? Do you think they are? I mean, my personal belief they need to be in jail forever. But do you think that's something in the brain that makes them do that? And what can we do?
But that's only if they actually commit murder, because there could be serial killers among us that have never murdered. And the
They're
only
not
reason,
killers. They're serial thinking like they want.
yeah, potential serial killers that decided not to kill only because, not because they have the empathy, but only because they know
they're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, so they avoid to get in trouble, but they still have that temptation.
Wow, interesting.
It's possible.
Actually, I had a manager when I was working in Greece, and then she told me she was in a relationship with this guy, and the guy was very nice, and like many years ago, she was like, let's say she was 40 something, and she told me when she was young, like 20 something, she was with this guy, and then after 20 years they caught the relationship was like done, not like nothing. After 20 years she heard that the guy was arrested because of killing women.
Wow, that's crazy.
And she said the guy was so gentle, he was very nice to me, and not only women, I think all killing people, like a serial killer.
She could have been a victim. She got lucky.
Yeah, that was one case, and the other case was very interesting. One of my Palestinian friends, I had this colleague from Palestine, she told me that her brother or somebody in Canada had this neighbor who was also like a Arab, I don't know from which country, but then she said this guy was a very good gardener, like he was doing amazing beautiful flowers and everything in Canada. He was doing it for the neighbor who was his brother, and then once he traveled to their country, and this guy, I don't remember even in Greece, or because they lived in, half of them in Palestine, sometimes they were in Greece, and she said this guy actually traveled there, and this guy actually made my father's garden, like a front yard and everything, and then he went back to Canada, and then he got arrested because he killed somebody. He hid the body in his garden, and then they find he killed somebody else and hide it in another person's garden. And then she was like, my dad was like, let's go search. I was like, no, thankfully he didn't kill anybody and didn't hide it. And he said,
That's
like, this
crazy.
guy, actually, that was his way. He was gardening so he could actually make a grave and bury people.
The gardener, imagine that.
That was interesting.
Could be a movie, The Gardener.
Yeah.
Have you ever met, or do you think you've ever met a serial killer?
I don't know.
Or a psychopath type serial killer? Do you think?
Why are you asking this way? Now I kind of feel like, oh my God, he can be. Why did you choose this topic?
I mean, I could be, but I'm not. But I could be. But what?
Why did you choose this topic?
Oh, because I find it's just another spectrum of humanity.
Hey, guys, we're a good friend, whatever you... Now you're scaring me. Okay, no, I don't think I saw any
Never met, no. never think.
Thankfully, yeah, God.
I think I have once. It's been a while, but the only reason why I thought this person was a serial killer was because
our cameraman is
I think we ran out of time.
Yeah.
But he felt like a hunter, like he was looking at me like I was prey. He was very kind. Yeah, he was very kind. He was very nice. But you had that sense and feeling, Sammy. We're as soon as we're good to go. I was waiting for you to come back. But he looked like we were praying. Don't leave. Come back. Okay. Talking to Sammy, our director. We ran out of time. But yeah, I think I met one time, and he gave that vibe, like he
maybe
was
in one video,
looking at me like I was
kind
prey.
of like had experience of somebody tried to kidnap me when I was like around 20. But I think it's a very interesting topic, and we need to talk about it in another video.
Yeah.
So you can talk about your experience of what did you experience. And guys, if you want to listen to that, I'm speaking. What are you doing? Yeah, thank you
Lights
so much.
out.
Please follow
Lights
us
out.
follow and subscribe us in all the channels.
That's
Thank you so much.
wonderful.
Let us know what do you think, and we're gonna share our experience in next video. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. Lights are out.
We need to fire him. I think if we get we need to make some real money, and then we can hire a person who doesn't just shut the what the.